Hi, hello, welcome. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us as we rock and roll on the road again, this time in beautiful Alexandria, Louisiana. Hickson Autoplex is where we're at. Jack just walked in. He brought me a Coke. Going to take me 6 months to drink. Matter of fact, if it spills over, we could have a flood in Hickson Autoplex. That's how much drink is in this deal. But anyway, and of course, tech colors. I'm not surprised about that. Anyway, 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. I don't know if I'm going to catch Dallas or not today, but, hopefully we'll get him in a few minutes. If not, the show must go on. So we'll do what we normally do and visit with you. But don't forget, Hickson has it. HicksonHasIt.com. HicksonHasIt.com. That's HIXSON. 3 great locations. One in Leesville, one in Monroe, and one, of course, here in Alexandria, Louisiana. So you can find out where to get all the great deals you can get on vehicles through my good friend at HicksonHasIt.com. All righty, that's about the best. Oh, you too low. Oh, I see. You're being blown out. All right. Before I get to you, hang tight. So anyway, a lot of stuff going on. Third congressional race, Senate race, everything going on. It is amazing. Let me see something. I had a story here for y'all. And you know what? For you people that think I'm making this up, I'm not. It's on Drudge. Fox 5 News in California broke the story. And I'm only going to share with you what the story is. All right, now, I'm giving you the headlines. I'm reading this straight off the paper now. And I want to show you how crazy the left is. And remember, when I say this story, think of a banana. Think of a banana, or a crazy banana. It's kind of a funny shape anyway. Just think of a banana. All right, here it is. Remember, we have man-made global warming. Brandon, you might have to find that cut for me and tell me when we got it. Here it is. Here's the story of the day. People going, Moon, it lost his mind. Well, you're supposed to say lost his mind again. California, this is the headlines. California regulates cow farts. F-A-R-T-S. Oh, no, this ain't funny. Cornelius is over there laughing, think I'm making stuff up. California is taking the fight against global warming to the form. The nation's leading agriculture state is now targeting greenhouse gases produced by dairy cows and livestock. Despite strong opposition from farmers, Governor Jerry Brown, I want to add he's a big liberal Democrat, signed legislation in September that for the first time regulates heat-trapping gases from livestock operations and landfills. Remember, Mike Foster Campbell said, we have it. Now we know what it is. By the way, I think Foster Campbell owns some cows. Once again, he's the biggest hypocrite. He hates oil and gas, made his money on oil and gas. He hates he believes we got man-made global warming. Yet I think he owns some cows. And the cows folks, you realize if cows were not having gas, we wouldn't have hurricanes. Do y'all realize that? So let me finish this story. This is not made up. Read it for yourself on Drudge Report, right-hand side. So cattle and other farm animals are major sources of methane and greenhouse gases, many times more potent than carbon dioxide. So now it's cows. See, cows now are a bigger problem than oil in the man-made global warming fight. So if we kill all the cows, get rid of all the cows, we should stop every tornado and every hurricane that ever came across. They had a bad one last night, went through Alabama, they killed 3 people. And if you listen to Foster Campbell and them, we have man-made global warming, this would stop this. You got to be a sicko to believe this stuff. You ain't got to be crazy. You got to be damn right sick. So listen to this. Methane is released when they belch, pass gas, and make manure. They don't even want the poor cows to go to the bathroom. All right? Folks, I'm not making this up. Jerry Brown signed the legislation. Now listen to this. Ron McCarthy, a science advisor in the California Air Resource Board, says if we can reduce emissions of methanes out of the cows' rear ends, we can really help slow global warming. Now, Brian, I don't know if you got it ready, but if you don't mind, play Foster Campbell's We Got Man-Made Global. We got it. Could stop up and put a plug in a bull or a cow's rear end, we won't have it anymore, baby. According to Foster Campbell. You heard him. Yeah. Hold up, Jack. Hold on. Let me finish this. I do want you to comment. Since the passage of the landmark of global warming in 2006, California has been reducing carbon emissions from cars, trucks, homes, and factories. In the nation's largest milk-producing state, the new law aims to reduce methane emissions from dairies and livestock operations to 40% below the 2013 level. So we expect that this package and everything we're doing on climate does show an effective model forward to others. Now, this is what Bananas Foster is telling us, that what's coming out of the back end of a cow is worse than all these vehicles we're driving. And here's the thing about it. These psychobabble nuts believe this. You know what else this is a part of? They want everybody to be a vegetarian. They want everybody to have no more than one kid. They want everybody to make $15 an hour. They want everybody to have this government health care. They want to control your lives. That's all this is about. Can you imagine? These people have been elected by people in California. Foster Campbell's been elected as Public Service Commissioner for many years, and he was elected a state senator. Now, who voted for this man? I have no idea. But he keeps telling us we got man-made global warming. So when I see this, I'm going, holy cow. If we could stop the rear end of a cow and plug him up and don't let him use the bathroom and don't let him have gas, guess what? We could stop hurricanes. We could stop tornadoes. Foster Campbell said we got man-made global warming. He never told us where it was at, where it was located. It's located in the rear end of a cow. I didn't know that. Foster wouldn't tell us. He said we got it. See, if Foster Campbell was telling us that it flooded in Central, first time it had flooded like that in 500 years, and all we had to do was get rid of some cows. I didn't realize that. Stop the cows. Plug up the rear end. Foster Campbell said we had man-made global warming. We found it. It's in California. And it's in cows. I just, look, I had to share this with you because I'm sure my producer, because I sent this to him last night, and I think his response was, oh, my God, you're not going there tomorrow. And I told him, not before 9:06. Anyway, 1-844-766-6607, Hickson has it hotline. We found man-made global warming. Foster Campbell said we had it, and we found it. It's in the rear end of a cow, and I didn't really know that. How you doing, Jack? By the way, Jack, thanks for the, thanks. You got the, all right, there you go.
Is that all right?
That's a little better. You're going to have to, I'm going to thank you for the Diet Coke, but you quit bringing this tech colors, light blue, powder blue, red, and white. I just want to tell you, you need to quit bringing it.
Hey, you see, if you killed all the cows, everybody will be a vegetarian. That's right.
That's what this is about.
So what this is all about?
It's all about, and look, these people are crazy. They really believe this. They making legislation. So what are they going to do? Stick meters in the cows' rear ends to see what they let out? Oh, my. They said this. Now, look, this is worse than the emissions from vehicles and carbon dioxide. It's just worse than that. And I'm sitting here going, people vote for people like this. They give them power. These people are whacked out, crazy Looney Tunes.
Folks, the first 19 minutes of this show could be characterized as a real gasser.
I would say that might be a little bit right. Yes, that would be a way to put a definition on this program. Your mic close. It's just I just want to make sure that people read the story. It's on the Drudge Report. I didn't make it up. Foster Campbell, you heard him say, we got man-made global warming, but he never told me how we got it. We got it through cows. That's the only thing I can think of. We got all this man-made global warming. And folks, we stopped hurricanes. We stopped tornadoes. We shut everything down. The coastlands of South Louisiana, all of a sudden we'll be growing land again if we could just learn how to plug up a cow.
So all that bad weather we had last night here, that's due to cows?
Absolutely. We had thunder showers last night. I live in the country where they got cows. There's cows right by my house. That's probably why them thunder showers were so loud. Didn't wake Maddie up, thank God. But they were right over my house, and I'm thinking, there's a cow pasture right by me. And if they weren't having gas and having manure hit the ground, I wouldn't have these storms.
That's right.
Bananas Foster's onto something, folks. He's onto something. Do you agree?
Yeah. I think we need to talk to Jerry Moonbeam Brown. and ask him. Well, that just gives me, when I go down the road and I see cows now, I'm going to have a complete different thought pattern.
Next time you sit down and eat that steak, you may want to pass up to save the planet, folks. Hey, we don't make it up here. We just shared it with you. It's Drudge Report. 1-844-766-6607. We can just get rid of cows or plug them up. Man-made global warming's over. Ex Foster Campbell. He has cows, by the way. Hypocrite again. We'll take a break. Be right back. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has that hotline. If you'd like to be part of the program, it's your opportunity to be the voice. Boy, that thing's eating you up, ain't it?
That's it.
I know. It's not like you do it every day, do you?
Moo.
Yeah, moo. This is the Moon Griffon Show.
I like how you said holy cow.
Yeah, holy cow. That's right. I'll not say that. Maybe that's a little global warming in that. Who knows? 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. Check them out. HicksonHasIt.com. Dallas and them do a wonderful job. They really try to serve you. Leesville, Monroe, and, of course, the beautiful Alexandria. We thank KSYL every day. I'm so grateful. Taylor did something really nice for me and the family the other day, and I did want to say Taylor. I'm not going to say it on the air, but he really took care of me on some stuff and my family, and I'm very grateful for that, for KSYL. I just think the world of this area. I've met friends like you guys, and it really has been a fun area to come to, and I really love coming here.
Did he buy you some steaks?
Actually, I don't know if I can buy steaks anymore. I'm thinking of man-made global. I'm starting eating chickens. I wonder what kind of gas chicken has. Who knows? All right, let's get away from that. Let's go to phone lines, and we're going to have to do phone lines a little different, but make a comment or ask a question real quick. Brandon, let's go to Stacy from Lafayette. Stacy, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for the laugh. I needed that. So we have cows and diesel trucks, so we are like really contributing. And our cow is named Moon, by the way. But my question is, what about all of the other animals, like the rabbits and the squirrels and the birds and the caribou and the elk? Like, what about all of them? Are we going to have to start regulating them as well?
Okay, thanks for calling, Stacy, because I know we got an echo deal and we're trying to get around it. Oh, yeah, Stacy. Matter of fact, I went back and read a little bit more on the story. You can go pull it up a little deeper. And, boy, that don't sound good. We're dealing with manure. We talk about deeper. Yes, chickens, any kind of livestock. Folks, this is what I mean by the left's agenda in this country and the world. It's always to control you. It's never about freedom. They talk about freedom. I tell you what they want you to do. They want you to have all the sex you want, abort every baby, kill every one of them, drink all you want, get drunk, and smoke all the dope you want. They want you to be able to do that as your freedom thing. Go enjoy. You say, have a baby. No, just kill it. That's what the left does. Then they're going to control what you eat. What do you think this is? They want you to be a vegetarian. They don't want you to drive a car. They don't want you to make more than $15 an hour. They want to control your health care. They want to control the banks. They want to control everything you do, how many children you have. Look at their agenda. If somebody's voting Democrat and they have a brain and they back up and say, okay, let me really look at the agenda. This story right here says it all. We're going to regulate cow manure. We're going to regulate what comes out of the back end of a cow. Hell, I can't regulate what came out of the back end of my children. I guess you could, depending on what you feed them. Like if you fed them crawfish when they were 2 years old, you probably wouldn't like the results.
And the birds are next.
Absolutely.
That's what she said.
Absolutely.
Shoot the birds.
And so if you really shoot the birds, I like that. But this is the time. People are I'm glad the lady's laughing. She's in a business hall and stuff. They can't stand you. Not only are you bringing around cows and all this livestock, you're using gas in these vehicles. I mean, you're just destroying the planet. This is a hoax. Trump needs to stick with that. I saw one of these nuts that has made $1 billion. This Steyer fella, whatever his name was. And he was saying, we can't go back. We're not going back by using oil and gas. That's what we always use. This stuff is awesome. The technology for electrical cars and all that stuff is not there at a price that people want to buy right now. Okay? It's not. If they had taken and said, we're doing electric cars because it's going to save you money and it's going to be the best thing, but they didn't do that. You know how they're selling electric cars and all this other stuff? Is that if we don't do something about this planet, if we don't do something about man-made global warming, then, and by the way, we changed it to climate change because things are getting colder. If we don't do something about man-made global warming, so here's what you have to do. It's set up, it deceives the American people in the world to believe you got to buy this now. Well, somebody's getting rich on you buying that now. And it may not even be what you want to buy. And so they had to come up with this hoax of man-made global warming. When you read stories like, by the way, Jack, I know you're looking at me. I didn't make this story up. Read about it yourself.
Well, I was wondering if the cow deal, is it premium or unleaded?
I don't know. Maybe one day you'll be able to drive up in a field and hook a cow's rear into your tank and let it roll. I mean, this is what the left wants you to think is good. They
the cattlemen administration, all these national and the state of Louisiana Cattlemen Association, you better block their emails here.
It's no doubt about the cattlemen. I'm with the Cattlemen Association, but what I'm telling you is if it starts in California and works its way here, the farmers, they're fighting this. But you can't beat the bureaucrats in California because that's like its own world. It's like its own country. Matter of fact, I read a thing the other day. They wanted to secede from the Union. I have no problem with that.
Good.
I think they should secede from the Union. I hope New York will go next. I mean, we can work out we can go down from 50 states to 40. We were 48. We were 48 before we added Alaska and Hawaii. Am I saying that right? Well, that's the last two. So we added them two. Let's get rid of two. California and New York, y'all go about your way. I have no problem with that. So anyway, by the way, federal debt is $20 trillion. Started with 10 under the president. It's at 20. The press has never talked. Watch this. If it keeps rising, they'll start talking about it now because the president will change out. All right, got to take a break. We'll get back more to come. The Moon Griffon Show. Hopefully we'll move maybe from the back end to the front end or something because the back end is not good. We'll take a break. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us as we rock and roll here at Hickson Autoplex, HicksonHasIt.com. A good friend Dallas. Don't know if he's going to show today or not, but we're here in three great locations: Leesville, Monroe, and of course Alexandria, Louisiana. And we're here out from MacArthur Drive, and they do such a great job. And so make sure you check them out. Let Dallas know that you miss him, and if you're looking for a vehicle, there's not a better place to buy one because they really do a great service after the sale. All righty, let's jump gears. I had this gentleman on the other day. Daniel Williams joins us, Winterfett.
Yes.
And Daniel, this is second annual?
The second annual Alex Winterfett, yes, sir.
Well, and that's awesome because y'all still in. You know what's good about you hear about the festivals, and I live in Lafayette area, and dude, there's a festival every other weekend around the area.
I think there's a festival for every single food on your plate.
I think there's festivals about festivals.
Exactly. There's a festival to plan a festival. I think there's a gumbo roux festival. Just the festival, just to make the roux. Then they have the gumbo festival. Then they have the seafood festival.
They started a new one, and I may be wrong on this, and one of my friends in the Lafayette area can help me. There's a po' boy festival now. I mean, there's a festival for everything.
So New Orleans has the big po' boy festival, which was started in a neighborhood. A bunch of neighborhood folks got together. Absolutely. And so I figured it out. People in Louisiana just want to get outside and eat food. They don't have the fool us. Yeah, exactly. We can't fool anybody. I mean, I think there's a festival for every single food group there is. So, you know what?
And more to come.
Absolutely.
More to come.
Absolutely.
Hey, but it's the second annual.
Yes, sir.
And, okay, talk about the festival. And by the way, give us the days.
Yes.
The day or days or the weekends and all that. Let's talk a little bit about it.
It's going to be this weekend, December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, located in downtown Alexandria. This is the second annual Alex Winterfett. Last year, we kind of, backtracking a little bit. Folks in Alexandria, Central Louisiana, have always wanted a winter festival. And so we finally kind of gave it to them and gave them a great product. They came out in droves. We had over 27,000 people last year. Awesome. It was amazing. It was a celebration, what we do well. A lot of other places have their festivals. And a lot of times folks can't make that festival. They can make it one day. So we want to give something folks can have over multiple days. So last year was a great success. We had ice skating rink. We had fireworks. We had music. We had great food. And people wanted more. So we're going to increase the ice skating rink. It's going to start Thursday about 5 o'clock. What we normally do is our holiday magic, which we invite a lot of our local choirs, school choirs, dance groups to kind of come out and celebrate their holiday.
Get them to come perform.
Absolutely, absolutely. I can't confirm it tonight. I may be out there doing a little holiday cheer.
They got you doing something whether you want to do it or not.
Exactly. Just a lonely bureaucrat just doing what he has to do.
Hey, well, how about this? I like the name. It's not Winterfest, it's Winterfest.
Winterfest.
Tell me why. Well, how did they come up with that?
So we in the summertime we do what we call the River Fete, which is our summer festival, and that was the birth of our fetes.
It's something different.
Absolutely.
I like that.
A lot have fests, but with our huge French and Acadian culture that we both share, we kind of wanted to throw a little French flair in there to kind of throw it in. It is because we have a lot of connection. We're kind of right in the middle of the state, so we're the stepchild of the state. We don't really know what we are. We just kind of sometimes we may be French, sometimes we may be North Louisiana. So we like to throw both in there. So what we try to do is make it different. Try to put a little accent on it so people remember it. Everybody has a fest, but very few people have a fete. So we want to celebrate our great culture that we have in Louisiana.
I figured it was a little twist on it.
Absolutely.
But it gives Alexandria area their own identity with it. And to me, that's good.
So it's funny, Central Louisiana has always kind of been, and I think I joked last time about, I'm glad you guys remember where we are above I-10.
I do, because I'm from Monroe. I've been coming here for a long time.
But Alexandria and Central Louisiana area has continually grown over the past 10 years. And we've been increasing our visibility across the state. A lot of times, if you find somebody from Lafayette or find some New Orleans or find somebody from certain areas, you ask them where they're from, they said, I'm proudly from here. So we're trying to increase the pride that we have instilled, that we've always had. A lot of folks maybe not known that we have. So we're trying to create this atmosphere, this quality of life that we're trying to show the rest of the world that we do things great.
But you got a lot of people in our state, especially this time of year,
Absolutely.
but they probably do it year round, that really love going to every festival
Absolutely.
they can. You got couples that have traveled.
Absolutely.
You got families that have traveled. And that's what you're asking to do. Y'all got hotel rooms. And the reason I'm bringing that up is, how can people come look at this? I know you got to have a web page. Talk a little bit about that, because people that are listening want to go to.
Absolutely. So Louisiana is a unique state.
Absolutely.
It's one of those states where the world can be crumbling around us, and we're still outside partying. We literally have a party for a hurricane. I mean, when there's a hurricane, we have a party. So, we try to tap into that uniqueness of our state. And we do have a website. You go to cityofalexandria.la.com and click on the Alex Winterfest page, and it'll give you the complete lineup. And if you go to our Alexandria Pineville Convention and Visitors Bureau webpage, they'll be able to hook you up with some the hotel list and kind of give you a map of the city as far as hotels and restaurants. But we have the map, we have the schedule of events, we have all the information on our website that for anybody from out of state or out of town coming through, they can come pop in. If they're on their way up to Natchez, stop through Alexandria, enjoy yourself Thursday, Friday before you get to Natchez on Saturday. We have a lot to offer. And the good thing about it is that it's very easy to get to Alexandria.
No doubt. You can do it a lot of different ways.
Exactly, coming from north, from the south. So we kind of find that in our advantage. So Winterfest has been something that we've kind of celebrated in our area, and we're proud of it. And a lot of folks are really looking forward to it.
You, Mr. Charlie, Mr. Charlie at the radio station?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Charlie, and him and Taylor have allowed me to be on the air here for take a shot at this at least 16, 17 years. And he's been bragging about Alexandria. If you meet him, he's always upbeat.
Absolutely.
He's always positive. And he's the one who told me, he said, I'm telling you, our little area is coming. And he's been saying that for many years. Y'all got the same struggles as a lot of people, but he's been the guy.
Absolutely.
Mr. Charlie Soprano has been saying this for a long time.
And huge shout out to Sunlight Broadcasting, because they're a huge partner of ours.
Oh, yeah.
Anything that we do, they go above and beyond the calling to get.
They're great to work with.
Absolutely.
I mean, you miss Tanya out here, but I know Charlie and Taylor and them have been doing a great job for many years, and I bring him up because every time I see him, and I don't get to see him a whole lot. I got to come back in December. I usually stick my head in there and wish him a Merry Christmas.
Right.
And, I'm going to try to do that again. But they've been bragging about this. So I thought this Winterfest really fit this area.
You're 100%
you know what I'm saying? It's unique for the area and for the state.
It is. And, we provide an outdoor ice skating rink. In which, if you really think about it, in a rural part of the state, a lot of kids may not get an opportunity to experience ice skating at all. If in their childhood
they never do it.
So it is unique.
I got a thing you could do. Probably bring in some people to have some fun. If you put me on ice skates and let people throw water balloons and just say, see if you can hit the clown. Yeah. I think we can make some. I think you make some money on it. I think you get some publicity. Yeah. At least the elected officials will come out and throw.
But I got to tell you this. This is a city-ran event, so there will be no workers' comp for you.
Well, first of all, I'll be glad to come to the Winter Fed. Right. I will not get on skates, and that ain't happening, brother. I don't have the knees. I just got knees to be able to put in these shoes. I'm happy to have that, brother.
Well, I did it for I did it for a small percentage of time last year, and you in your mind you want to act like it's walking. Are you roller skating? Nothing like it. It's a completely different feeling, completely different balance.
Well, my young brother, I never forget, we had moved to Baton Rouge and had ice skate rink. Yeah. Got to go back a lot of years, and he was a very talented guy, drafted by the Mets.
Right.
Started 4 years in the secondary at Southeast and played baseball, football, multiple athletes.
Right.
And about a 4.3, 4.4 40. Huh. They always say the fastest white boy I ever seen. Anyway, I watched him skate. And me and my daddy didn't watch him skate. I had a bummed up knee when we were young, and we laughed because he kept falling down.
Yeah.
But after it was over, I said, dude, you gave it. He said, I never tried. He said, you never noticed when I fell down the young girls that came over here and picked me up? And I said, dude, he said, boo, they were over there help me. Come on, Kurt, we'll help you. They had to hug you to pick you up. He said, I had the best time of anybody. He went down 42 times.
Look, it sounds he was the most athletic and the smartest.
Well, first of all, being more athletic didn't take much, but being the smartest definitely didn't take much.
Exactly.
All right, one more time before I let you go. Daniel Williams, of course, with us. It's Winter Fed. It's in Alexandria.
Yes, sir.
Talk about where they can find out about the event, because I think right now, since we're talking to everybody that may want to come, you tell them how to look it up and check it out.
We have our Facebook page, we have Twitter, we have Instagram. Facebook page puts a lot of information.
Just pull up Winter Fed.
It's the Winter Fed, our River Fed, but either one.
Okay.
And then our city page is cityofalexandriala.com. As soon as you click on that page, get to that page, you'll see a big Winter Fed banner. We can click on that with the scheduled interviews, schedule all the things going on the weekend. But December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and I want to point this out.
Yes, sir.
It is free. All the attractions are free. Bring a little cash for the food vendors and art vendors, but the music, the attractions, they are free. Come on out. We have 2 separate ice skating rinks, a big one that's partitioned. The smaller one is going to be for kids and smaller kids.
That's the one I need to get on.
Yeah. So it's going to be a good weekend. We're looking forward to it. And there's another way that Central Louisiana Alexandria is showing what we're doing well.
God bless you, brother. I hope you have a big crowd. All right, we got to get out of here. We'll take a break. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. We'll take a break. Be right back. More to come. Maybe we'll talk about the other end of a cow. Who knows? We'll be right back. I got one more segment to top it out. Hello. Brandon, are we live?
It's you, Moon.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm over here. I got people out here talking. I'm not listening to the music. At least they can't see me on Facebook today spill drinks on myself. By the way, I did, Brandon, put my shirt in the cleaners that I spilled the drink on yesterday. Somebody wrote, looks like to me Moon has a drinking problem. Well, I started to wait a month, and you got to get enough stains on it before you can justify taking something to the cleaners. But, no, I did. I really did take it to the cleaners. And so I wanted to let you know it wasn't the government taking me to the cleaners. I actually took my shirts to the cleaners. All right, appreciate it, Brandon. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline if you'd like to be part of the program and talk about some of the things that we've been talking about for the day. By the way, I do not know. I was hoping somebody in the oil and gas industry would tell me OPEC just cut. They cut the amount of oil they're going to produce, and the prices jumped 7%. Now, I know people buying oil, gas, and things like that. They probably love the fact that gas is below $2 a gallon. But I'm going to tell you, for our state, that's not that healthy from the economy standpoint. Some people have benefited because gas prices are so low, they're driving everywhere. I understand that, but I just know in the area I live, I think the number is we lost 7,000 jobs last year. And most of it had to do in the oil and gas industry. And you know, it's amazing. OPEC is going to cut. They play with our lives so much when it comes to oil and gas because, you know, one day we're paying $4.50 a gallon, next day we're paying $1.90 a gallon. And $1.90 at $2 is not realistic. If you just take the natural flow of inflation, you know, that car right there, what did it cost 10 years ago? You know, my truck, what did it cost 10 and 20 years ago? Everything is going to, this drink, this 17 gallons of drink that he brought me, that I'm scared is going to spill and flood the whole car dealership. That's a big drink. I ain't never bought a drink that big. But anyway, what did that cost 10, 20 years ago? So if you put that in perspective, and I know, look, gas, and I mean, all is a commodity. It's traded on a stock exchange now. It's a worldwide deal. And it used to not be like that. And it seems like when we were younger, and I might be way off on this, it seemed like it was more steady than it is now. We got fluctuates up and down, and we get 2 or 3 years of high and 2 or 3 years of low, and it's kind of hard to do anything. We need to be self-sufficient in that business. We need to be self-sufficient in oil and gas and coal and all the things that we've always done. And if you people think that a electric car and all that stuff's important, then it ought to have to compete like everything else. Just, you know, and get off the man-made global warming hoax. It needs to be because people want it. And I tell you what, I'm going to tell you how innovative people are. And we were talking about cows a while ago and the methane gas and all that stuff. I saw a guy in Lafayette. He said he was the doo-doo cleaner or something like that. What he did is go in your yard to clean your dog pen, clean your yard if you got dogs and all that stuff. Now, people go, I wouldn't want to do that. But there's somebody who is creative enough to say, you know what? All these people with animals and dogs, I could start a business cleaning around their house. I wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. But this guy's doing it. He's making a killing. And then it gets competitive. That's the American spirit. The guy found out something they can do, and he went do it. Or do it in this case. But the point being is that, you know, in America, you know, we got oil and gas vehicles, and if they want to come up with an electric one and they want to come up with one made with water, in America you ought to be able to do that and let them compete. Natural gas vehicles. You know, if gas gets too high, do natural gas vehicles. They're doing them now. And so it shouldn't be, you know, the way things are designed and done, you just let the natural flow of it happen. We should be producing 100% of everything we need. We would never worry about the Middle East. If the Middle East want to blow each other up, our prices are not going to go to $4 a gallon. But we need something more steady because that way when people are working in the field like oil and gas, these people that go in this business and they got jobs and they got good jobs and they got families, you know, they want to stay steady so they don't lose their jobs. At $1.90 a gallon, $1.89 a gallon, you got a lot of people not working. So you look at someone like me, I'd be willing to pay $2 or $3, $2.50, $3, whatever, for a gallon of gasoline. Because if I look at the perspective of what people make today and what they made 20 and 30 and 40 years ago, that's not that high. It's really not. And the efficiencies of vehicles now and the gas mileage, go back to the days when vehicles started. You didn't have power steering. You didn't have all that stuff. And so things have changed. So when I look at the price of gas and going $1.90, yeah, my pocketbook says, woo, and I don't want it $4.50 a gallon. But I think, and Dallas used to talk about this, if we're going to have some consistency, we need some consistency in the prices. And we need some consistency so they can build vehicles based on what the price is. And we don't have that right now. So, you know, OPEC is cutting. I think that's a good thing for the state of Louisiana. It's a good thing for people in that business because if the price gets back up considerably, then we got an economy that's helped in Louisiana. I can't say it's helped anywhere else, but it's helped here. But I know it's helped everywhere because, I mean, if you just talk to the people that I talked to that lost these good-paying jobs, it breaks my heart. And $1.90 ain't going to put them back to work at the pump. So, by the way, if you were paying $2 at the pump and you had a 20-gallon tank, okay, you would pay $40 for a tank of gas. At $3 for the 20, you're paying $60. So if you fill up once a week, most people don't. I fill up once every 4 or 5 days because I travel a lot. So basically, if you filled up once a month, you're looking at about $80 more a month. And I hate to tell y'all, we waste $80 a month eating out or doing something else. So it's not, You're like my mama. You're very frugal. My mama's very frugal, and she's very good at handling money. But $80 a month, if we go from $2 to $3 a barrel, the average person I don't think is affected in a big way. Now, if you got limited money or you're on a set income, I understand that. But think about it. If at $3 a gallon the economy churns, I would rather the economy churn and pay $80 more because I'm going to be making more. And that's what happens in a good economy. So anyway, 20-gallon tank, $2 a gallon, you're paying $40. $3 a gallon, you're paying $60. If you fill up once a week, that's $80. $80 a month. But if you start making another $1,000 a month or $500, let me ask you this question. If you made $500 more a month because the economy was doing good, and you had to pay $80 more in gas, so you got $420 extra in your pocket, is that a plus or minus? It's a plus. It's a plus for people that are working. It really is a plus. And I take that trade every day. If I can make $500 more a month, but I got to pay $80 more in gas, I'm still $420 to the better, and economy rolls, and maybe $500 would turn into $700 more a month. You think about that. I don't think we look at the big picture. I know some people, because a lot of people are happy about the prices being low. If I was not living in Lafayette, Louisiana, although I've been on air, I understand it. I might not understand it like I do now. So if economy's doing better and you start making more money, and I'm just throwing $500 a month, you may be $1,000 more a month, but $80 more a month, I don't think will crush you if you're making $500 more a month. It's very simple, but some people don't look at it that way. Now, somebody on fixed income, I don't know what to tell you on that because I'm not on a fixed income right now, but that don't mean I won't be one day. But the fixed income, that's a little different twist now, okay? But I guarantee you, most people on fixed income, I didn't say all, they're not getting a tank a week of gas. They're probably not. They're probably not going and doing as much. But for me, if I can make $500 more a month, and I'm going to pay $80 more in gas, and I'm $420 better, I take that every day. By the way, Jack just texted me back. Sound like we got gas day on the Moon Griffon show. That's all we talked about was gas at one end or the other. All right, we got to take a break. HicksonHasIt.com, HicksonHasIt.com. You're listening to the Moon Griffon show. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome to Moon Griffon Show on the road again in Alexandria, Louisiana. And, of course, in conjunction with our good friends at KSYL 970 AM, our good friends at Sendler Broadcasting. We are here at Hickson Autoplex. And, of course, three great locations, Leesville, Monroe, and, of course, Alexandria, Louisiana. So you want to check them out at HicksonHasIt.com and let the good folks at Hickson get you taken care of. You're going to enjoy what they do at Hickson. I promise you they do a super job. And if you don't believe this, tell them you want to talk to Dallas, and Dallas will get you taken care of. That's the one thing I know about him. He will do that. All righty. By the way, Fidel Castro is dead, thank God. That was a blessing in itself. Died on Black Friday. He hated capitalism. I don't know if y'all been following this. I've been shocked at what the left has been doing and the remarks. Just the remarks of the left praising Fidel Castro. Just they're praising Fidel Castro. And Castro was such a butcher and a killer. And yet they still trying to praise him. They're still talking about how great he gave the country health care. What do you do? You know what his health care plan was? Oh, you're sick, and you shoot you and kill you and move you out of the way, and it save money. I mean, he killed so many people. The left and the press is still, this is screwed up. And the president said history will record and judge the enormous impact of a singular figure on the people, the world, and around him. And Cal Thomas wrote a piece that said, why wait on history? We can judge him now. What you mean wait to judge a guy that butchered and killed and slaughtered people and anybody got in his way? 6 decades. You know, and yet people in this country, for some reason, they think this man was a good man. How does killing people and putting your people in poverty and this is what they did. You know, I don't understand how you could praise such a dictator and a bad person as being really good. And they talk about how great his health care and his education system was, and let me tell you something. There was no such thing as great health care. Matter of fact, if you go now, they talk about how dirty and nasty the health care facilities are there. National Review did a story back, The Myth of Cuban Health Care. The magazine was among many publications that destroyed the notion of outstanding health care in Cuba, but the left in this country believe it was good. They noted that the country offers 3 medical tiers. One tier of celebrities and tourists requiring payment in hard cash to help bolster the regime. The second tier was for Cuba's top government officials. And the third tier is for everyone else, which the magazine called wretched. Hospitals and clinics crumbling. Conditions were so unsanitary, patients may be better off at home, wherever home is. That was the healthcare system. That was a lady congressman from California. I need to get this ship from Monroe to Louisiana. And she went, she said, man, let me tell you something about that healthcare system in Cuba. And I thought, well, why don't our politicians, Washington, D.C. should have to be on the Cuban healthcare system. And they would have to fly down there to get their healthcare. How many people you think would agree with that? None of them. When you're better off to be at your home, like they said. If they do go to the hospital, they must bring, check this out, their own bed sheets, soap, towels, food, light bulbs, even toilet paper. Matter of fact, that might be a good idea, because if you go to the hospital, that's all expensive. And basic medications are scarce. Finding an aspirin can be a chore. An antibiotic will fetch fortune off the black market. Then they were bragging about the education system. And it was a universal system for the whole country. But it stipulated anyone who received the education would have to actively promote the government policies both during and after the schooling. They were also required to take government-approved courses that didn't tolerate any criticism of socialism as a way of life. In other words, education was seen as a key to the revolution taking hold and creating a literate population loyal to the government. And the human right violations of Fidel Castro was phenomenal, yet the press over here keeps writing all these positive things about Fidel Castro, and I'm trying to figure out how does killing people, torturing people, leaving people in poor situations, how is that a beautiful thing? And by the way, the Trudeau, the Prime Minister in Canada, he came out and praised him. He was going to go to the funeral. He ain't going to the funeral now. He's shutting up because the people in Canada went crazy on him. These elected officials, and I'm going to be very disappointed if this president sends anybody there. You wouldn't have sent, United States of America would have never sent somebody to go to Stalin's funeral or Hitler's funeral. Why would you do that? These people were butchers. They killed millions of people. Now, I don't think Fidel killed millions, but he destroyed a lot of people's lives. And not only because he hurt them or they had them killed or whatever, they're saying 100,000+ there, but it's the way they had to live and the filth they had to live in. Our poor people in this country are filthy rich compared to the way they live in Cuba and some of these other countries. And I don't have a problem with a hand up, and I don't have a problem trying to help people. But the way they did this, they forced everybody basically into poverty. And yet being praised by, I'm trying to find it, and I apologize, I have it. I may have to go back through my emails, but I had some of the quotes from some of the people in the press. It was phenomenal what these people are saying about Castro. I mean, absolutely phenomenal what they've been saying. A matter of fact, I got it. I got to go back here and find it. But they're saying some of the dumbest things I've ever heard people say. By the way, we do have another Cane River Pecan giveaway. And if you want to be part of that, just email me, moon@moongriffon.com, moon@moongriffon.com. And we'll see if you can get in on the list, and maybe you'll be one of the lucky winners. We've had a lot of winners, and I've gotten some of the nicest emails back from people who have won the pecans. You enjoy the pecans. JD, regarding them, they know what they're doing. They really know how to take care of their customers. They really do. So it's an opportunity to be part of that. Anyway, Moon at moongriffon.com. It's an opportunity for you to make sure that that you can check out some of the best pecans ever. And if you got customers you want to send some to, man, JD and them do a super job. They take my tins and put my logo on it and send it out, and it's really cool the way they do it. It really is. All right, 844-766-6607. But the comments that I'm reading about Fidel Castro and anybody promoting Fidel Castro in our country, people in the press and on the left, and the president's made comments, and you just cringe. You cringe at what they're saying about this guy. And I don't understand. You leave people poor, hopeless. You wipe out anybody that gets in the way, anybody that criticizes you. That's so un-American. He was a communist. He was a dictator. How does people, and now you see why we get what we get out of our press in the United States of America. I mean, why don't they just, you know what the press corps was supposed to do? Cover the news. Mr. Floyd, if you were doing something, you were an elected official, and it was unconstitutional, they would rag you out. If you were doing something wrong or illegal or something, they could investigate you, and they would be on your fanny. On the flip side, if I'm you're a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. Let me not say that. Independent, and I was doing something right or wrong or whatever, they would challenge it. It's not like that anymore. We got one group over here with Fox, another group over here with CNN, ABC, and all that, and everybody's doing their own thing depending on what political side they like. That was never what the free press was supposed to do. The free press was supposed to go find out the truth and then let the American people know what was going on. That's really what the press was supposed to be about. And we don't even have that in here anymore. Not many. We have press corps that say, I pick my sides and this is what I'm standing with. In other words, we were jumping Bush on debt because Bush ran up $4.5 trillion. President Obama comes along. We like him. We're not talking about the $10 trillion that was run up. You see what I'm saying? And you can flip it. You can flip it the other way. They pick sides, and that's what they do. I'm kind of different. I just want to know what's the truth. And that's why I make enemies from trying to find out what the truth is. You know, Republicans, you know what happened with Republicans? And I'm not a Republican because of Bobby Jindal, especially Timmy Teeple. But Republicans would get mad at me because here's what they'd want me to do. You're a Republican and you're a Democrat. And the Republicans want me to talk about him every time he did something wrong. But when you did the same thing, the Republican did the exact same thing as the Democrat, they wanted me to hush. State Republicans, the party, some of the people in the party. I was in a meeting one time. I ought to mention the name. I ought to tell everybody the whole story, but I'm not. And this one Republican wanted me to have a meeting with a guy I knew. We had mutual friendship. And so I went to the meeting. And the guy asked him, what do you have a problem with Moon for? And you know what his comment was? Well, Moon ain't working with us. Moon ain't coordinating with us. And the guy looked at him and said, so when was Moon supposed to work with the Republicans to coordinate with him? And the guy sunk in the chair because he knew he'd been beat. He was counting on the mutual friend, to jump on me. Which, by the way, I didn't give a rat's rear end if he jumped on me or not. I was going to do what I thought was right. But the mutual friend, who's really a friend, turned to me and said, you keep doing what you're doing. You're the only conservative voice we got out there. And he told a Republican Party guy, you just need to run the party and let Moon do what he does. And that dude sank in that dang chair. And he said, anything else? And I was in there about 5 minutes, and I said, nope, I'm ready to go. I shook his hand and walked right by the guy. And that guy used to be a good friend, but see, they want to use you. And I've not let anybody use me. Now, when you say that, you say, oh, you let a lot of people come on. No, what I'm saying is they don't have me in their corner because you can ask Vitter, ask Bobby Jindal if they had me in his corner. Ask them. Ask all these people. They'll tell you. It's not a matter of me turning on them. They do what's wrong. And so if you challenge them, they don't like that. Especially my friends in the Republican Party. All right, we got to take a break. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Hickson has it hotline. We'll be right back. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us on the road again in beautiful Alexandria, Louisiana, and, of course, here at Hickson Autoplex. HicksonHasIt.com. HicksonHasIt.com. You need to check them out. Of course, the Hickson Has It hotline if you'd like to be part of the program. 844-766-6607. If you want to make a comment or question, it's open line for you anytime. By the way, I'm going to go back to the 3rd Congressional District. And, you know, Angel against Higgins, as I like to say, Angel Hillary against Trump Higgins, because that's basically what's lined up in this race. One of the things that I want to bring up is y'all have heard me say Timmy Teeple. People around politics know Timmy Teeple. Some of you people know, who is that? That was the guy that ran Jindal's campaign. And he's the guy that needs to get the heck out of here. Teeple needs to go, folks. Let me tell you what, this guy only loses elections. I just found out he was running Bustani's campaign. Now I know why Charles fell a little short. If Charles would have gotten a runoff, you know, we'd have a very interesting Senate race right now. And he came in Monroe and ran Neil Rice's campaign for Congress. And I begged Neil not to use this guy. I was Jindal's right-hand man now. And Neil got beat bad by McAllister. You know, and I got accused of some things in that race, but I get accused of a lot of stuff. But I can't deliver victory for anybody in a race. If I could, Angel couldn't get close to winning this election, but Edwards wouldn't be where he's at. Mary Landrieu would have never run. Do I need to explain how many I lost? Because I can't win one. People try to give me credit for winning elections before. Talk radio can't win elections. You don't have that kind of power. You don't have that. I'm telling you, we're better on issues, not candidates. So then I looked up, and it's got this Teeple fella running Angel's campaign, and really I think he's hurting Angel. But he's still doing the same thing. He tries to run the other side. This guy needs to be run out of Dodge. Now, I found out that like I said, Bustani's campaign, I didn't realize he was involved in that campaign. And then it came to me. Now nobody's been more of a quote critic on Bobby Jindal than me. People would say that. And I only challenged Bobby on what they said and what they did. And last night, sitting in the bed, this morning I'm driving to Alexandria, and it just started, you know, my little brain was working with a little bit I got. And I got to thinking about Teeple and all these people he's been around. Then I started thinking about Bobby Jindal. Now, I didn't know Bobby Jindal, but I knew him a little bit. I could talk to him and visit when he was first running. And Bobby changed. And Bobby changed when he got in office. And everybody knows Bobby's change was, I'm going to be the president. And I'm convinced now Jindal could have been a good governor. I know, boy, I've been, my buddy CB's probably turning over in the grave now. But here's what I mean. I got to thinking about this Timmy Teeple fellow. And they used to call him Co-Governor Teeple, Governor Teeple. Because Timmy was cracking the whip down there when he got in there. And let me tell you what happened to Bobby. And this is my opinion. And I'm not defending him because nobody was criticizing him more than I did. What I think happened is Timmy Teeple got between his ears, just like he got between the ears of Angel and Bustani and all these people that he keeps getting beat. And I think he convinced Bobby Jindal, if you do it my way, you'll be the president of the United States. And I'm convinced that Bobby Jindal listened. This little bitty Timmy Teeple took Bobby Jindal from a 70% approval number and went into elections to a 25% approval number. And almost a disgraced governor now. And a guy that everybody went against once he left, once he was down at the end. I was wondering, what changed Jindal? Well, little Timmy Teeple. I don't know what this guy is. I don't know who he is. I never met him. But I know he's bad for politics. He's bad for Louisiana. He was bad for Jindal. He was bad for Raza. He ran Scott Angel's campaign in the governor's race. He only got 19%. He helped beat David Vitter for Edwards. He put Angel in the position he's in. Angel got 29%. Angel is embarrassed, finally humbled in his life. I'm not saying he can't win the election. And I started thinking, Timmy Teeple. Bobby Jindal was probably a decent guy. Probably still is. But Bobby Jindal listened to the wrong guy. And instead of Bobby Jindal trying to be the best governor he could be, Timmy Teeple molded him into being the presidential nominee. And all he did was embarrass him for 8 years. And this is the guy running IGL's campaign, the Jindal people, Timmy Teeple. I don't care what Timmy Teeple says about me. I don't care what he tries to do to me. This guy destroys candidates. He destroys everything around him. And I think he's personally responsible for what happened with Jindal. And nobody criticized Jindal more than me. And I'm not taking up for him. But this man is bad business. And IGL's wrapped around him. We'll be break a break. Be right back. I love it. Oh, God, I love it. Hi, y'all all. Welcome back to the Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us here in Alexandria, Louisiana at Hickson Autoplex. Loving every minute of it, beating some new people and guys that can that really do a lot of thinking around here. So, gentlemen, just stopped by about the Electoral College, and I like his one little change. I don't want to change anything, but it makes a lot of sense. Anyway, 844-766-6607, Hickson Exit Hotline. If you would like to be part of the program, tomorrow's December 1st. Oh, my God. Hard to believe how quick the years go by. I guess when you get older, it goes by quicker. All right. I do want to play one thing. You heard me, and it wasn't a rant. I just thought about Jindal. So I know somebody's saying, boy, you must feel sorry about what you did. I didn't do anything to Jindal. Jindal did it himself. But Jindal was easily persuaded by this Teeple guy. And now that and boy, me and Charles Bustani have been friends for years, but getting people involved is dangerous. IGL got bombed in the governor's race. Oh, they turned around and hurt Jindal. I mean, Vitter, there's no doubt about that. But this Teeple fella, and I got to thinking about Jindal, and there's Scott, and his first commercial was bombs away at Higgins, and yet that's the same thing they did with Raza, bombs away at McAllister. And so, and McAllister, shot his own self. It wasn't my fault. He shot his own self in the foot. And I started thinking about this Teeple guy, and I'm thinking, man, we need to get him in another state, get him the hell out of Louisiana. And if Scott IGL gets beat, okay, and Scott's got his own personal problems because he's a lifetime politician, but if Scott IGL gets beat, this Timmy Teeple fella has a lot to do with it. I'm just telling y'all. And somebody said, well, if he wins, it ain't got nothing to do with him. But anyway, I wanted to play this again. Because people have been requesting this because they hadn't heard it yet. And I know Scott and him still running commercials on this great speech he made 8 years ago. A speech. There's nothing but a speech. But when it came to being tough and having guts and really being smart and going to Washington and fight for us, he fell on a sword. It was an embarrassment to the state. And I got the copy. It was in a committee. And he was supposed to be defending Louisiana and oil and gas industry and things of that nature. And he really didn't know anything he was talking about. That's what worries me. Great speech. But what about when it comes to content and who you are and when you get in front of people, how you handle yourself? So here it is. I want to say this is a guy, Merkel Brandon. He's a
Representative Murky out of Massachusetts.
Who's, by the way, another one of them Banana Foster's global warming nuts. But he was the guy on the committee questioning IGL and his response to this. And I think this is important that people listen to this. That's nice to be able to talk about the Boudreaux and all that stuff, but what about when you get there? What about when you get to the Congress and now you're with the big boys who don't care about all these speeches and all these great comments that make people laugh and having a great personality? They don't care about that. Now we got to fight for Louisiana. How did he do? Let's listen, about 4 minutes.
A safety record. Secretary Angel, on page 225 of the Independent Commission report, said that from 2004 to 2009, fatalities in the offshore oil and gas industry were more than 4 times higher per person hours worked in the United States waters than in European waters, even though they were the same companies. So given that it is 4 times more deadly to work offshore in U.S. waters, and that the Commission found that the safety problems were systemic and that not a single new safety measure has been enacted into law since the BP disaster, don't you think that we need to ensure that these rigs are operating safely in order to protect the lives of workers on these rigs and the livelihoods of all Gulf residents so that we increase the level of safety up to international standards rather than having the lowest in the industrialized world? Don't you think the safety recommendations of the BP Commission should be implemented?
I'm not familiar with all those safety recommendations, Mr. Ranking Member.
You haven't analyzed the safety recommendations yet?
I have not, sir. I would say that
Could you, I think, given your job, don't you think you should have looked at those safety recommendations?
Actually, I have not analyzed all of those recommendations, sir.
Could you analyze them and give a set of responses to the safety recommendations back to the committee?
Sir, I have not analyzed all of those recommendations. I would tell you that in my comments, I indicated that it should not be business as usual, and we support it not being business as usual. Certainly understand that and get that.
Does that include implementing the safety recommendations of the BP Commission?
I am not aware of all the safety recommendations of the BP Commission.
Are you aware of any of the safety recommendations of the BP Commission?
I'm aware of some of the safety recommendations, yes, sir.
Are there any of those safety recommendations that you recommend be implemented?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us what those are?
I would just simply say that generally, I believe that, repetitive safety measures of dual blowout preventers and those kind of things are very, very important. I certainly understand containment issues being very, very important. But I would say again that having the new regulations that have been promulgated, we are now at a point where the government, the industry has demonstrated to the government the ability.
Even though you're not familiar with the safety recommendations of the BP Commission, you're ready to say that it's safe and people should go out there. Is that what you're?
No, that's not what I said, sir. I said that it is my understanding that the Bureau of Ocean Energy has promulgated new rules and regulations, and the industry has demonstrated the ability to comply with those, and now is the time to begin issuing permits, inasmuch as industry has begun to comply with those recommendations.
And they issued those recommendations last month, so we're ready to go. Are you satisfied with the recommendations that were promulgated by the Department of Interior?
It is not for me to be satisfied. It is for me, as I said earlier, sir, I come here not seeking blame, but to bring about a solution. It is the industry has demonstrated the ability to comply with those regulations, and we need a sense of urgency issuing permits. Okay, well, I'm not looking backwards. I'm looking forward.
I am too.
And anyway, it just total embarrassment. I listen to that, I just cringe. This is, like I said, it just reminds me of the Wizard of Oz. A candidate, no brain, no heart, no courage. And when you pull that curtain back in the Wizard of Oz, that big old head you was looking at and all the mouth and everything, and then you pull back and it's not even close to what you're listening to. That's what bothers me. It just bothers me. It doesn't bother anybody else, I guess, but it bothers me. In an election that's getting ready to take place. Matter of fact, early voting today, tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, and you got to wait till the following Saturday to go vote. I'm just encouraging people to go vote. Vote who you want to. Election's going to be what it is. I did once again. Some of you people think I get texts every now and then, or email and go, "You just making stuff up." And I told you that Scott's working very hard with the left. Very hard with the left vote, the Democrat vote, that's who he is. He can work with the people he knows best. I got it confirmed again yesterday. It's big time. Trying to get the vote out he's trying to get, and it's all the left. And it's who they're working hard, trying to make a difference in the election. And, as I watch this, I tell you people this because that's just true. I don't have any reason to come on in and tell you something that's not true. They're working very hard with the left. That way, if you ask them, are we working to get every vote? That's cool, but you're doing it the way Democrats do it. There'll be money on the streets trying to get these people to go vote. That if they want to go vote, people ought to go vote. I don't care if you're black, white, Democrat, Republican. But their solid foundation for Scott is the left. It just is. But, once again, I really think Angel does a lot better if he got away from Timmy Depot, but they didn't. And so that hurts him automatically. Hurts him big time. All right, got to take a break. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. We'll be right back. Oh, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline if you'd like to be part of the program. Of course, HicksonHasIt.com. 3 great locations, Leesville, Monroe, and, of course, Alexandria, where we're located today. It's your opportunity to get with them, HicksonHasIt.com. and they'll get you taken care of. I promise you. By the way, like I said, I didn't realize today's the last day of November. December 1st is tomorrow. I mean, we're down to 31 days after today, and then we'll be back in another first of the year. It'll be 2017. We're closing in on 2020. I remember when it was 1999, and the world was going to come to the end when it went to 2000, and the satellite systems. I remember that like that was yesterday. Oh, my God, satellites going to fall out the sky. And what was it, Y2, not Y2K, huh? Y2K? Was that it? Brandon, am I saying that right? Y2K? It was.
Yep, you're saying it right.
Yeah, it was going to be you remember that, Brandon? Brandon, were you old enough then? You were just a kid.
Yes, man.
You were just a kid. How much water and food y'all put back? I hope not too many beans because of global warming, but that's another story.
So,
you know what we did? We didn't really do anything. I had if you look in your pantry, I mean, we're not loaded up, but if you look in your pantry, we always keep some red beans and canned goods and bottled water and all that stuff anyway. Not because we think something's going to happen. We just buy extra, and if something does happen, you know, it'd be a storm, it could be a hurricane, it could be a flood, it can be, remember all that stuff? I mean, but we didn't go to any kind of extremes, and we woke up the next day, and the lights were still on, and the air conditioning was still running. I just remember reading the stories, and then the people that were actually the economy. That was Clinton's last year for the election, and then started into a recession the next year. The recession would have started that year. You know, it bailed the recession out that year. Y2K. People were buying computers. Some of them had to buy computers because the changeovers and all. People were buying computers. They were buying food. They were buying all kind of stuff for their office and business supply. If this happened and that happened, we had to have extra this. And that made the economy flow. And I think that was played up like that for a long time on the Y2K stuff. And I just, I was watching everybody going on. I had friends that bought, and I had somebody tell me they had enough water to last them almost a year. Brandon, I just remembered it. I remember people having just stuff back, and they thought the end of the world was right there over a computer. We didn't set the computer right in the satellite we sent up there to help run this stuff and do things like that. I used to think, really? You mean to tell me it's going to go back to 1900? There are a lot of people think that the thing was going to kick back to 1900 and shut everything down. I mean, I don't know of one incident that happened that time. I know the economy roared for about 6 months. People were scared. Depending on what program you watched, that's how scared you got. If you turned all that crap off, you didn't get scared at all. I know we went to bed, I think. You know, I'm an early person in the bed. I mean, I was probably in bed 9:30. I think we were in bed sound asleep before 10 o'clock. And I didn't wake up till the next morning. And you know what? The lights worked. The air conditioning worked. Or the heater. I guess it'd been heater because it'd been cold time of year. And I got out, my car started. You know, got these chips in the cars now. I thought, oh, my God. All this stuff is not going to work. They scared everybody to death. And it was. I just remember the day, but I'm telling you that pumped up the kind. Oh, by the way, Stephen Moray, who was the head of the Economic Development Department for General, is leaving to go to Virginia now for the same thing. So good luck, Virginia. All right, we're gonna spend a few minutes with Dallas because we're gonna sell a few vehicles. First of all, good to see you, brother. I know you're running a little bit behind, but I'm okay with that. Good to see you.
Behind is it's an understatement.
I threw that out there. All right, Dallas.
That's an understatement.
HicksonHas.com. It's the last month of the year starting tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Any kind of big deals going on? Do y'all put on at the last part of the year? I know they used to do that, but
matter of fact, I was on the phone with Ford. That's why I was late. I apologize. It's been a long morning, but anyway, a lot of good things. Moon, the manufacturers right now, the car business is not great. Many of your clients on the radio probably know that. It's interesting.
Is it more to do with our state than it is all over?
No, it is more to do with our state than it is. But the whole nation is down, which is very interesting because the Trump bump, I've heard that terminology used quite a bit of time. You've seen the stock market. You've seen a lot of different things move. Car business is not, and it's really shocking to people. What's interesting is I don't know if it's the turmoil associated with some of the selections of the committees or whatever. Really, nobody understands it. If I could, I'd write a book. Sure. I would have it out tomorrow. It'd be an e-book. Everybody download it. I'd make $19.95 a book, and I would go buy an island somewhere and be happy. But it's just really interesting. From Dallas, Texas, and the bigger cities, all the way out into rural areas like where we do business in Louisiana, all shapes, forms, all manufacturers. It's just been an odd couple of months here. I can understand the oddness prior to the election because there was so much contention and turmoil. But a lot of other people have experienced a bump, and the car business has not. Now, what does that mean for consumers? Let's get back to selling cars. So what does it mean for consumers? It means that the manufacturers realize they've got an issue. I mean, we've got an issue here. We're not moving iron. The manufacturer books their profit when they sell a car to the dealer. I don't know if customers understand that. It's not the end customer. So if I buy 1,000 vehicles from Ford this month, Ford books the profit on 1,000 vehicles. Okay. I've booked nothing.
Until you sell them, you're not getting anything.
Absolutely. And so the manufacturers see that. And what happens is they're like, well, we're not going to worry about the dealer. Well, you can't do that. You have to worry about the end customer because if I can't sell my cars, I can't buy more from them. I mean, so it's a self-fulfilling prophecy here, and they've got to help us get it done. And so I was just on the phone with Ford and other manufacturers. They've really enhanced some incentives. They're already out now. There'll be a few more that are announced tomorrow, but really, really good stuff. It's a very good time.
Now, do you have the incentives on your website?
Yes.
Or do they need to call and talk to y'all about it? Because a lot of times you can look and say, oh, let me call, and they pick up the phone and call somebody.
And I tell you what, here's what's interesting about our store and our company. We don't scoop rebates. And what that means is if a customer gets a rebate, we give them the rebate. We don't do anything underhanded. And, unfortunately, there are a lot of dealers that do. So what you see on our website should be accurate. It's updated by professional people that tap into all these different sources to be able to put that on there for us. It's 24 hours delayed in a lot of cases, so if there's something that comes out tonight, it may not be on there tomorrow, but we give it to the customer anyway.
Okay.
If you call in and verify, hey, I see on your website it says $21,900 after rebates and
but
incentives.
I know you, and I know your family now.
Sure.
I feel like I do after all the years that we've been in business together. The vehicles, when you cut a deal, you want to move that vehicle today.
Sure,
so
absolutely.
if you can move that vehicle, you're gonna move it.
Absolutely, we are. And I'm not here to. This isn't a museum.
I know. So you don't want to come and say.
I said, somebody goes. I had somebody the other day go. You really don't want to sell a car. Yes, I do. This is not a museum. I'm not here to admire them. I'm here. And the other thing is, it's more important than the automobile. And I ask our salespeople on a regular basis, what business are we in? Is we start some new salespeople. We're in the car business. Wrong. What business are we in? We're in the car business. What business are we in?
People business.
We're in the car business. No, we're in the people business. Yeah. Cars don't buy themselves. We have people that walk through the store. We're people that put our shoes and our pants on one leg at a time, one shoe at a time. We've got good people here. They're honorable people. They understand what our customers go through.
Don't you think when people come in, because I know how I do, I'm looking for price because that's always important.
Everybody does.
But I'm also looking for service. I've always been I'd rather pay a little bit more come and see you.
You ought to see our stores.
To pay going somewhere else, and I know my service is not going to be there.
Absolutely. No doubt
about it. I'm telling you, I do.
And now I realize, Moon, we take this seriously. I mean, our sales experience level, I just looked at it for Monroe a moment ago. Our sales experience level in Monroe is 99%.
Wow.
That is just unheard of. That now, it's not good enough for us. And then people go, well, 99%, that's near perfect. Yes. But that means 1 out of every 100 customers doesn't like us. That's unacceptable to us. Now, am I ever going to be perfect?
But what you're going to do, and I know you're going to take the one, and that's where you're going to concentrate.
That's where we're going to concentrate. I want to figure out why did we fail the one person? And that's the way our management staff works. And in the service department, it's in the 95th percentile. That means 5 people out of 100 weren't happy with what we did. We didn't write their car up fast enough. Maybe we repaired it, but we weren't nice to them for some reason. Or we didn't exceed their expectations, whether it's fixing it or how friendly we were, the timeliness it took to get it fixed. And we have a lot of parts ordering issues right now with all manufacturers, BMW, Ford, Mazda, Lincoln, Toyota. We've all got issues with parts. They all do. General Motors products all have those. And so we're fighting that battle, trying to make sure we get our part for our customer. But I know that we work hard for that. And I'll go back and just stand behind and tell you it's not about me. We have hundreds and hundreds of people that work for our company. I think that my family, my father, my dad, and my brother and myself, drive the philosophy of how we're going to do business. But our people are the ones that actually do the business. I mean, they're out there talking face-to-face with customers, empathizing with what their problems are, what they need in a vehicle. And we're not satisfied with the number of cars we have. Our Monroe store looks like it's just going out of business sale. I mean, that parking lot's huge, and it's a great problem. We get truckloads of Fords in every day, and it still looks like our lot's empty because we're selling them as we get them in. So please give us an opportunity.
HicksandHazard.com.
HicksandHazard.com. We will earn your business. If you give us the opportunity, we're going to work hard for it.
All right, folks, it's that simple. Go to the website. They got people that handle the phone calls as
Absolutely.
well. And all your markets. Leesville, Monroe, and of course.
And you can ask for me. If there's anything wrong, you ask for me.
I tell them that. I told them that earlier today. If you got a problem, call us. I need to talk to Dallas.
Yep, personally.
Moon said it.
Yeah, Moon
I know
said
you're
it.
going to jump up now.
I said it. Call me.
God bless, folks. See you tomorrow.